while the program is ongoing. And I also request that soon we'll be joined by the chief guest, the principal, and the director. So I request you to rise when they enter. Thank you.
Come ma'am. You can be here, ma'am. So you could be there.
Welcome everyone to this charming little pocket of time where you will see stories unfolding, revealing poetry, music, raw to perfect, dance and drama, and loads of talent already peeking from behind the curtain. Shy but ready to steal your heart. At the onset, it is my honor to welcome the guiding force, the pillar, and the strength of this institution. With deepest respect, I offer a very warm welcome to our honorable chairman. We extend our warmest welcome to the spirit behind us all, our revered director, sir, whose vision has led us towards fuller growth. Welcome, sir. Your presence with us today is the reminder of the excellence we strive for each day. With a hint of warm purple, a pinch of deep mustard, and a tinge of sweet pink in our hearts, we welcome our support, our inspiration, our worthy principal. Welcome, ma'am. It's our utmost pleasure to have you here. A personality whose presence adds grace to every gathering, whose words carry the weight of wisdom and the warmth of experience. It is my absolute honor to welcome our chief guest for the evening, Ms. Gurmeet Sangarai, a name that stands tall in the world of conservation architecture. With over 30 years of pioneering work, ma'am has redefined the discourse around cultural heritage in India and beyond. Her vision has led to projects that not only conserve history, but revive communities, reconnecting people with their past in meaningful ways. Ma'am has worked on icons of India's built heritage, including the Red Fort and Parliament House in Delhi, and has authored conservation management plans for World Heritage sites, such as the Ellora Caves and the Kalka-Shimla Railway. Her work is rooted in a strong belief that heritage is a living part for our communities, deeply connected with development, identity, and sustainability. Ma'am's vision and leadership have earned her numerous prizes, including 2 prestigious UNESCO Asia Pacific Awards in 2023 for conservation projects in Punjab. As the founder of Cultural Resource Conservation Initiative and an advisor to UNESCO, her work continues to inspire architects, historians, and policymakers alike. Ma'am is a passionate advocate for climate action and inclusive urban development, and she has recently developed a national toolkit for integrating climate resilience into heritage planning for Indian cities. Her projects consistently reflect an integrated approach for cultural and natural heritage with a deep sense of responsibility to communities, history, and the future. It's truly a privilege to welcome a leader, a visionary, and a guardian of culture. Welcome, ma'am. We extend a heartfelt welcome to the esteemed members of our management, respected parents and teachers, and our dear brothers and sisters. You are all the part of this extravagant yet humble celebration, a microcosm of collective love and shared spirit of Solian family. Artistry is the hidden city of the heart. When it speaks, every dawn unfolds. What is art? Kala kya hai? Art is what transcends beauty to engage with honesty and expression. Who is an artist? Someone who dissects and reassembles reality. It may sound like some sort of biology art, but truly, it's an anatomy of the unseen, a study of life, putting together of emotions and experiences. What is young art? It's passion crawling on all floors, learning to walk, A 4-year-old's heart learning to communicate. Tender fingers holding the weight of ethical responsibility. A teenager hit by middle-aged perfection. That's not the end. It's an exploration. A brisk walk towards a fuller life, a run towards the calm. This evening, we've all gathered here to explore the melody of the heart through Solian fusioners, charge our dramatic souls through the budding artists of the theatre, connect with our inner selves through the self-written poems by the Dead Poets Society, and express ourselves through the energetic dance moves brought together by the Solian dance troupe. We are all artists of some sort, or art, I would rather say. The world is the music, and we are the melody. The world is this huge canvas, and we are the painting. The world is the night sky with constellations, and we are the binding light.
Today, we stand before you with our hearts fluttering like the wings of a timid bird, our souls laid bare under these lights. We, the performers, are not so different from 4-year-olds, clutching their Lego towers with trembling hands and their eyes wide open with hope and fear. Each performance that you will be witnessing this evening is a creation that we have built, block by fragile block. And we've done it all with the tenderness and earnestness of a toddler piecing together their first masterpiece. But there were moments when our creations came crumbling down. But we did not stop. We did what you and our teachers have taught us. We gathered the scattered pieces and we got to work again. And now, here we are, presenting to you our delicate performances, which were prepared solely out of love. Now, as we begin, I want you to look at us as those same 4-year-olds, eager, sensitive, and most importantly, excited. Please receive our work with the same warmth that you'd offer a child's wobbly Lego tower. For in these performances, we have poured our hearts out. And now we lay them before you with great vulnerability, hoping you'd see the beauty in what we've built. And it is now with great pleasure that I invite our worthy principal to the podium to start the celebration. Please join me in welcoming Ma'am.
Thank you, voice. Distinguished Chief Guest, Mrs. Gurmeet Sangarai, Honorable Director, Sir, members of management, my beloved students, respected teachers, dear parents, and my cherished alumni. With warmth in my heart, I welcome you all. To stand here this evening among the many and yet feel each one is a quiet privilege, a gentle honor. As I speak, I intend this to be a conversation, eye to eye and heart to heart. This evening, I'm not speaking from a podium, but from a place of gratitude. Gratitude for each hand that held this school up, and each footstep that has walked this journey of faith with us. Every year, I count the steps that we have taken forward. I take pride in sharing the growing list of what we have accomplished and what we have added to our landscape. The enhanced classrooms, the improved infrastructure, and our achievements. But this year, it goes beyond the visible milestones. We have made strides that are evident, and we have come far in maintaining our standards. There is a lot that lies beneath in the undercurrent. The invisible growth, the empowerment, the transformation, the flourishing, the awakening, and the wholesome becoming. As we evolve, we need to realize that the world is not changing year by year. It is morphing moment to moment, breath by breath. And in this ever-shifting world, today, I want to speak of a different kind of evolution. One that doesn't always make it to the report card. Growth that cannot be measured in numbers, but felt in moments. Curriculum is not merely content. Curriculum is conscience, a reflection of the future that we hope to shape. Our journey forward is guided by clear, intentional learning outcomes, rooted not just in academic goals, but in a broader, more humanistic vision of education. We believe that purpose-driven education begins with micro-movements. The past year, we collaborated with the PDU's curriculum, an NGO, a path-breaking, child-centric approach that does not merely transfer knowledge, but transfers or transforms sensibilities. It is about cultivating ecological intelligence, emotional literacy, and civic responsibility. Our curriculum is no longer seen as a static syllabus, but has a dynamic sensibility, one that nurtures kindness, mindfulness, and has a much deeper connection with the world. At the heart of our vision lies a quiet yet powerful conviction that high self-esteem and a strong self-image are best nurtured through simplicity. We choose to build the inner core of our students than external enhancements. Our themed guest talks on simplicity, originality, and character have laid the groundwork for this journey. We encourage students to take pride in who they are, not just in how they appear. Staying minimalist and mindful allows us to focus on what truly matters and create an environment where authenticity, self-worth, and inner confidence can thrive. Even our infrastructure reflects this ethos. Our spaces are designed to foster focus and self-control. In every initiative, we strive to cultivate learners that are grounded, resilient, and unapologetically original. We consciously choose simplicity as a pathway to mental well-being. A simpler environment, free from clutter and comparison, allows the students to breathe, to feel free, and to feel joy in just being themselves. It supports emotional regulation and strengthens self-awareness. By minimizing distractions and external pressures, we create space for inner calm, focused learning, and genuine connection. Simplicity for us is not about doing less. It is rather about doing what truly matters for the holistic growth of every child. Climate change is no longer a distant warning. It is our daily reality. True change does not begin with grand gestures, but with everyday choices that shape a better tomorrow. As a culture of conscience, we travel to school together, reducing our carbon footprint. We compost food waste, and we have replanted trees to restore green cover. Our school also serves as a sanctuary for migratory birds every year, which makes our love for nature and biodiversity grow even more. In recent times, we have witnessed uncertainty in its most subtle and unsettling forms. When the winds of uncertainty blow, it is purpose that anchors us. we have come to realize that we must equip our children with far more than just academic knowledge. We must empower them with resilience, adaptability, and the courage to come back. It is with this broader vision of education that we take immense pride in our students' achievements. It gives me tremendous pleasure to share that our academic result for the past session, year 2024-25, has been truly outstanding. We achieved a 100% pass result, and I'm delighted to highlight the remarkable achievement of the toppers. Master Amarpreet Singh of class 12 secured an impressive 95%, scoring 100 in business and accountancy. Ms. Tavleen Kaur, class 10, stood out with an extraordinary 98.8%, getting 100 in mathematics and IT, and 99 each in English, science, and Punjabi. Apart from them, there are approximately 40 students who have scored above 90% in various subjects. These accomplishments reflect not just academic excellence, but a culture of hard work and discipline. As a step ahead towards nurturing potential, we are proud to announce that scholarships will be offered to the achievers of classes 10 and 12, who show exceptional hard work and a goal-oriented mindset. For the academic year 2024-25, the Suraj Kulwant Scholarship will be awarded to the meritorious students of class 10 and 12. This scholarship program is a message to every child. We see you, we believe in you, and we walk beside you every step you take. I feel proud to say that this year we have launched our School Zine, which is a vibrant platform for student expression. Through this, we will empower our learners to craft, compose, and create across a range of mediums. What makes it truly special is its spirit of student agency. This Zine is entirely student-led, curated, and created by them. Every page reflects their voices, their perspectives, and their originality. It stands as a powerful example of project-based learning, where students take ownership of the real world. Here, students are doing all the work under support and mentorship. The board is a collective of editors, designers, storytellers, and change makers. The engagement with the readers is through creativity, curiosity, and courage. We have hosted meaningful alumni interactions under the Real Not Real series, a platform designed not just for nostalgia, but also for navigation. We invite our alumni back, not merely to reminisce, but to mentor. Their journeys, rich with real-world insights and experiences, are shared with our current students, helping them distinguish between glamour and grit, between assumptions and actualities. This year, we consciously expanded our efforts to take learning beyond. Our students participated in a greater number of outside school trips designed to enrich their understanding of the world around them. These learning journeys have offered new perspectives and encouraged observation beyond the textbooks. We realize that such exposures are essential, not just for academic excellence, but for life itself. In the same spirit of holistic growth, amid the many visible infrastructural advancements, both completed and underway, I am delighted to share that plans are in motion for the establishment of an equestrian club and a state-of-the-art shooting range. These additions reflect our commitment to holistic development, offering students unique avenues to build discipline, focus, and resilience beyond the classroom. We are committed to making school not a ritual of routines and timetables, but a journey filled with moments of meaning. I cannot emphasize enough how the educational landscape has evolved, that our children's needs have changed, and so must we. The question is no longer, what will our children become? Rather, the real question is, what must we become to guide them best? The very definition of holistic development has expanded, embracing a broader, deeper understanding of what it means to nurture young minds. Our efforts, too, must grow, amplified in new dimensions, and driven by purpose. What you are about to witness today is a thoughtful weaving of creativity and imagination. My children have poured their hearts, mind, and sweat into the performances. These are not just performances, but it is a purpose. Today, as they take the stage, we must offer them our belief in their potential. I urge you to applaud wholeheartedly and congratulate their devotion and receive love with open hearts. Thank you, everyone, for being here on this special day. May this day be etched in your hearts as it is going to be in ours. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Ma'am. We look up to you as little sailors gazing upon the captain. You are the soul of our aspirations. Your words propel us further, always. It's time to begin. We present to you the first musical performance by the Fusioners.
This musical presentation was brought to you by our junior Solian fusioners from classes 4 to 7. The chosen piece was specially selected to reflect the spirit of standing up for oneself and self-discovery, the values that our school.
We are poets, and here is a poem on faith. Faith in bathroom slippers. Faith. Faith might be Fatima writing letters she might never send. Yet she folds them with the precision of someone who still believed in answers, even if they never came. Faith in bathroom slippers. It also could be Anna watering the same plant every morning, the soil hard, unyielding, unforgiving. Yet she pours water gently, like she's apologizing to it. Or maybe to herself, for wanting it to grow when maybe it never would. Faith in bathroom slippers. What is faith for you? Do you have a faith story? Faith. Faith could be Raja auntie cooking for herself and her son that evening when she prepared his favorite sabzi and laid out his plate. But he never came home. Faith in bathroom slippers. Joseph, who dressed up with sacred certainty, polished shoes, cologne, put on a shirt too bright for the day. Maybe there was a party somewhere. He sat in the car next to his friend who had returned after 5 years. But do you know what? He never reached. Faith in bathroom slippers. Faith could also be Meera. Meera, who didn't speak much, yet every single day she stood near the window in her best sari, hair parted neatly, lipstick on, as if the day might just walk in and say, "There you are. I've been looking for you." Faith in bathroom slippers. Gurpreet. Gurpreet sat on the cobblestones outside the train station, not really waiting for anyone. He said he liked the noise, the weight of people passing by. Yet, his eyes kept searching and searching with a sadness as if he had lost something important. Faith in bathroom slippers. We are not whole. We are broken. We are stitched into patches with borrowed hope. We spend thousands of quiet midnights staring at the ceiling, asking the same God we say we do not believe in to answer our prayers. A prayer is not always a hymn, shabad, or a song of asking. Sometimes it's just a whisper curled up on the bathroom floor saying, "Please, just make this make sense." We have crumpled prayers in our pockets. We say, "We are fine," but we mean I'm falling and no one's looking. And yet, there is something sacred about the way we keep trying, the way we love people, even after they leave. Maybe this mess, these silent screams, the aching gut, the ghost desires. Maybe this is how we pray. This is an act of faith. Now have I thrown you into your past? Our daily prayers, our Ram, our Vaheguru, our Allah, and every day wish our life will come to you halfway and tell you, your prayer was heard. Faith walks past me in bathroom slippers this morning, brushing teeth, smelling of Dettol, and healing ointments.
Presented by our middle school boys, this musical piece explores the theme of surrendering to a higher universal power and the power of faith.
Hey, who dragged that chair?
A chair.
Who sat on the bed? And who could have folded the laundry?
Love. Love lives here. And sometimes I even see it walking past me. It never talks to me though, or says a word. It just walks past, silently. And yet, every single time, I feel this warmth in my stomach. It's so consuming, so fulfilling, so strange.
Oh yes, love is a strange thing.
Sometimes it stays up late, just to hear you breathe easier after you've cried over maths, physics. Love scolds and yells, and then it cries in the kitchen. It doesn't know how to say, I'm so sorry, but hey, it'll make you your favorite Oreo shake. Love never says, I love you. Instead, it fills your water bottle at a rapid speed while simultaneously yelling at you because you overslept and now you're late for school. The thing is, sometimes love loves in a way that doesn't feel like love.
My father never said I love you. Not really. One morning, he sat on the couch, his shirt unbuttoned at the top, his fingers moving as if counting blessings or regrets or the price of rice. That day, I had gone with my friends, but told him that I had gone with Ajji. I know I lied, but he was really furious. It was a small lie though. He twisted my ear like this, like someone doesn't hate. I yelled at the top of my lungs. That night, when sleep climbed in, with her dirt-stained feet, I cried and I cried and I cried. But then he came in, bent over. His shadow leaned across my face, kissed my forehead. He kissed my forehead and left it moist. The only thing I felt was love.
My mother never apologized for getting all angry at me when I didn't finish my food. When I threw things around the house, do it yourself next time, she yelled. But the next time, she always did it herself regardless.
Daddy ji missed my school play again. I was heartbroken, shattered into pieces. But he took me out for movies to mend it. I felt.
You won't believe what my mother did. She threw away my poems. She called them a waste of time. I was so angry at her. I was so mad until I saw her. I saw her and she was talking to my aunt and she said, look, she writes just like her father. And that was the moment I realized love lives in the house I live in. But the thing is, we are broken people. We're fragile. We don't know how to love. Our heart is broken, chambers dilapidated, walls peeling. One chamber stays empty, another still filled with hope. The third one, it has confusion chunks, and the fourth just keeps pumping in tiredness. The beat is unsteady. We're fumbling people, speaking in half sentences, walking aimlessly. But
This is our house. Love lives here. We swear it does. We try, we really do try to catch its eye,
but it
but
looks
look straight ahead. And we pretend not to notice
the
empty chair where it once sat.
सबीरी ना झूमी जोत सिकाबुल सबीरी ना झूमी जोत सिकाबुल सबको भेज बुला दिल बन के कभी सीने से लग जाता है तू और कभी नन्ही सी बेटी बन के याद आता है तू तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान मेरी आरज़ू तू ही मेरी आबरू तू ही मेरी जान धागा ये टूटे ना ये धागा बरसों की यादों का ये धागा चले ना क्यों ये मेरा तेरे आगे कौन मेरा क्या तू लागे क्यों तू मांगे मन के मन से भागे सच्ची धूप भरूं, तेरे नैनों सजा दूं नया सपना। गोरी चिड़िया, नन्ही सी चिड़िया, अंगना में फिर आ जाए।
गोरी चिड़िया, नन्ही सी चिड़िया, अंगना में फिर आ जा रे।
अंधियारा है घना और लहू से सना।
किरणों के तिनके अंबर से चुनके, अंगना में फिर आ जा रे।
जा रे जा रे।
Comes to you from our senior Solian Fusioners, a traditional performance featuring an olio of evening ragas woven with traditional chords. This musical piece is a heartfelt tribute to the beauty of relationships, especially the relationship between a father and a daughter.
This is my lovely sister, Zaina. We often sit under the jamun tree together. Today, we'll tell you the story of a girl named Hira. When we were 13, we knew what hunger felt like. Not just in the stomach, but in the heart. A quiet ache that awaited for someone to choose us. Home is a tired place. A heap of clothes in the corner, a leaking roof, and Amma humming songs, trying to stitch broken days together. And then she came into our life. Her hair not perfect, unkempt and messy. Her sandals broken, cracked. Her smile so beautiful that it lit up everything around her. "Hello, soulmate," she said, as if she too had been waiting for us. Someone was waiting for us. We met every day under the jamun tree. Its shade, cool and calm. We sat there every afternoon. We ate those dark fruits till our mouths turned purple. She even said jamuns were nature's secret candy. She was often tired, not from running, but from dreaming a little too hard. One day, she said, I'll transform. I'll leave this dust behind. She never told me how. Just gnawed at her lower lip and mumbled magic words, just like promises made to the wind. We spoke of power, not loud or shiny, but a quiet kind. The power of believing in more, even when we had less. And then, one morning, I saw her father with a cart. She was going. She was leaving us. I felt this lump in my throat. That day, my heart cried out. She said, don't be sad. I'll come back for you. I did not believe her. But I whispered, don't forget the jamun tree, the time we spent there, and the memories we made together. She chuckled and touched the tree's bark, as if sealing our story into it. Years passed. The jamun tree stayed. So did we. Older, maybe wiser, but still waiting in some corner of our hearts. Home isn't always a place where you're born. Sometimes it's where someone returns to you and stays. We often think nostalgia wears a denim jacket, strums a guitar, a time where every chord we played felt like forever. But nostalgia also sits quietly under a jamun tree, where mouths turn purple and childhood aches turn into memories. Such a summer is unforgettable, worth remembering.
Good evening, everyone. This song is for the music enthusiasts, our principal ma'am. Because of your motivation, we are here, ma'am.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, go.
Say the song for the broken hearted. Spills from the faded body. And I am gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when it's shouted out loud. It's my life and it's now or never. And I am gonna live forever. I just wanna live till I'm alive. It's my life. My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. I just wanna live and I'm alive. It's my life. that summer seems to last forever. And if I had a choice, yeah, I always want to be there. Those were the best days of my. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah. Third one, we have Vernon on keyboard, Raj on drums, Nishan on percussion, Dave on bass guitar, Abim on electric guitar, Manan on acoustic, I, Sentinel Webb on the vocals. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Performed by our senior boys, this high energy presentation brings back the spirit of 80s rock, a powerful blend of nostalgia and themes of loss. With a deep appreciation for the classics, we strive to draw our attention towards the timeless music and celebrate the essence of rock. The following students are requested to report backstage: Tavleen Kaur Sandhu, Jasdev Singh, Shehbaz Singh, Preet Kamal Singh.